Hey, y'all. Well, this is part 2 of how Harry met Sally.
The lie.
Okay.
Y'all know my story was true. My story was true. His story is true, but embellished.
I'm not going to make
And I'm going to interrupt you when you're not telling the truth, Joseph. I'm going to interrupt
That's
you.
That's not working. I'm not going to interrupt y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not going to interrupt. I'm not going to, when I say interrupt, I'm not going to make y'all sit through the whole story again. We just going to go through the embellished parts.
What parts that was embellished? That I embellished?
Or the parts that was skipped out?
I didn't embellish nothing. And so, I ain't skipped nothing either.
We'll start at the beginning.
Okay.
So, my friend in my training class, Rahima, she kept telling me that there was this man she wanted to introduce me to. So in my mind, I'm thinking, there ain't nobody in here that I like. I mean, there was somebody in there that I had, you know,
shady already.
Did a little something with, but didn't know that they worked there until I walked through and saw them first. So I was praying to God it wasn't.
We ain't gonna mention his name.
I was praying to God it wasn't him.
We ain't gonna mention his name.
But when she said dark skin, I said, oh good, it's not him. So she kept telling me about this man. She was like, oh my God, y'all dress alike, y'all wear the same kind of jewelry. Y'all just, I gotta introduce y'all. So I'm like, okay, Rahima, whatever. But
heard
in my
about the pot
mind,
rolls.
I still ain't never seen him. Never seen him. Never laid eyes on Tramel at one time. So in my mind, I'm like, well, who could she possibly be talking about? Because there's nobody in here that I'm even, you know, attracted to like that. Well, it's one day we came back from break or lunch, and I was sitting at my computer waiting to start the training class because it really wasn't over yet. So she came running in and said, Joseph, I got him at the door. Come on. You know, she don't ever call me Joseph. She called me Joey. She was like, Joey, I got him at the door. Come on. So I get up, you know, make sure. I knew I was looking good, but you know, you gotta, you know, straighten up a little bit and make it right. So I did that. And I come out of the room and he's standing up against the wall. So I'm like, oh. Okay. All right, Rahima, you might have did good right here, bitch. So she was like, I've done my part. The rest is up to y'all. Bye. And she went in the room. So he just standing there looking at me, and I'm standing there looking at him. And I'm like, well, when is he going to catch the fever for the flavor of this Pringle, honey? Because I know I'm looking good, bitch. And I know you can't resist. So
and I was given the very essence of.
So,
and I was given the very essence of.
He was my nerves, because he was absorbing it all, taking it all in, but he wasn't saying nothing. So, I mean, when I say not saying nothing, meaning like trying to pick me up or nothing, he told me, hi, my name is Tramel. I said, hi, my name is Joseph. Which was rare because he was the only man at that time that knew my name, because everybody else knew me as Jaquan. Nobody ever got my first name.
That mess.
So even at the time, my good friend at work there called me Jaquan. So I told him Joseph. It probably just slipped out because, you know.
He was nervous. He was nervous.
I wasn't nervous.
He was nervous.
I was attracted to him. I can admit that. So when he's not, you know, taking the bait, I finally said, well, maybe we can hang out sometimes or, you know, whatever. Oh, I can't do that. I have a boyfriend. My whole face dropped. I was like, boyfriend? Child. I said, all right, well, bye. Have a nice day.
I was being honest with you.
I said, all right, bye. Have a nice day. And I went back into the room and he went about his business.
No, tell him what you thought of me. He thought I was arrogant.
No, I thought that you were arrogant, conceited, stuck up, and it turned me on. I'm not going to lie. His arrogance met my arrogance, and it was a wonderful thing, because I don't like a man who is intimidated by my arrogance. Like, he was very arrogant, looking at me like, and what, bitch? I see you, but I don't see you. And I'm looking at him the same way, like, okay, bitch, I see you, but I don't see you. So I was like, okay, whatever. So y'all heard when I said I'd never seen him before. After that introduction.
Oh, here we go.
Everywhere I went, he was turning up.
You're a liar.
I went to lunch. We just happened to pop in there to get a soda. I go smoke a cigarette. Here he comes smoking a cigarette. So I said, oh, is this what we gonna do? We stalking me on the low without giving me, okay.
Child, nobody wasn't stalking you. First of all,
I promise y'all that's what happened.
First of all, nobody wasn't stalking you.
I went from never seeing Tremel, not even knowing who he was until Rahima brought him to that classroom.
Don't believe him when he said that.
Every cent she
believe him.
Every cent she had brought him to that classroom. I had seen Tremel every single day after that. Walking through the call center. Now, maybe it was just because I was introduced to him. So now I was more alert to him being around, and maybe he was around. Maybe he was around just as many times, and I didn't pay attention.
Hold on.
Because I would have paid attention.
Hold on. Did you ever stop to think that you was like right at the end of your training and you were transitioning on to the customer service floor? So that's why you saw me as much. Because that's why he saw me as much. When he was in training, they only went on breaks at certain times.
But I was still in training.
When you were transitioning over to customer service, you were out on the customer service floor more. So therefore, you were able to see me more. Don't do me. Don't be trying to make these people think that I was stalking you, child. I didn't have to stalk.
Let me tell you something.
All I had to do was call his name or tell somebody to go get Joseph, and he would run, honey. Run!
He wanted to be seen, number one. That was number one, to keep me interested, honey, because he knew when he said he had a boyfriend, my whole face little dropped, so the interest went out the window.
No, to be honest with you,
he wanted to be seen.
No, I know, you know what?
So he kept being in my presence.
With you, I was like, if a situation happened between my relationship right now, he'll be there. He'll be waiting on the sidelines.
Like I said,
like all the other boys. All the other boys wanted me to be their baby daddy.
This is why I couldn't work back then.
All the other boys wanted me to be their baby daddy.
They all would have got fucked up, and he would have got fucked up too.
He wanted me to be his baby daddy too. Okay.
No.
Yes, you did.
No.
Yes, you did. You want me to be your baby daddy.
I didn't never think of you as a daddy.
They be trying, and they try to act like they don't like you. Like
I never thought of you as a daddy.
But they really do care.
No, I did. No, see, I don't.
You wanted me to be your baby daddy.
I don't see, unlike you, I don't deny the things that I did back then.
I don't deny nothing either. What am I denying?
So anyway, maybe a month or two went past, and he came and told me that him and his little boyfriend broke up. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Why he gotta be little?
Him and his little boyfriend broke up, so I was like, oh, that's nice. Little?
So my little boyfriend. Like it was a little situation or something.
It was a little situation for me. Then at that point, like a dummy. And ladies beware, like a dummy,
What you mean like a dummy?
I fell for that.
Fell for what?
We broke up, and I was like, oh.
We did.
So we broke up, and now maybe we can go out. I said, oh, okay. So in my mind, I said, okay. I gotta cook him a meal and put it on him, honey, because
Oh, that was the plan.
I know my prowess.
That was
I need
the plan.
to cook him a meal.
That was the plan.
And put it on him.
That was the plan.
So I was like, well, where do you like to go eat? So he told me. I said, oh, well, you like soul food? He was like, of course I like soul food. I said, well, maybe you could come to my house and I can cook for you. So he was like, oh, okay. So I said, okay. So we made that happen. Y'all heard that in the story. So, he came over. I cooked him a meal and put it on him and sent him home for him to think about it. Well, honey, the next day when I got to work, everybody and their mama knew.
That wasn't the next day.
Everybody and their mama knew. As soon as I got to work, because he went to work like an hour or two before me. The next day, as soon as I got to work, my friend Thelma, who, by the way, was an Aries as well. Rest in peace, Thelma, because I heard you passed away. My friend Thelma, who was the Aries as well, she called me over to her desk and she was like, Joey, I don't like this shit. I said, what? She said, you are a very private person. And Tremella's in here telling everybody he spent the night at your house.
I did not.
I'm telling you what I was told. She said Tremella is telling everybody that he spent the night at your house and that he put it on you and that you whipped. I said, oh, is that what he's telling the girls? So, first of all, he had to say something because she would have never known he was at my house.
I did say something.
Unless he said something.
I said something to Stephanie.
So, really, the truth was, all I was mad about, like, all that putting it on me and shit, that didn't bother me. I was more mad because why did you have to come to work and tell everybody you was at my house? That's what I was mad at. So, I didn't see him.
Everybody.
I didn't see him. And then he walked over to my desk with a big old grin. Hey, Joseph. I said, what are you doing over here? Child, you know me. I switch up in a minute, honey. And you won't know why I switched up. So he said, what's wrong? I said, what's wrong is you coming in here running your goddamn mouth telling everybody you was at my house last night and we fucked. Well, I didn't do that. Well,
and I didn't.
How Thelma know? She just made it up. And Thelma was like, yes, you did. That's one thing I like about it, Aries, honey. We will call you out. We will call you out. That would say, yes, you did. You did it right in the lunchroom, and I heard you.
Here's the real story. I told
your side on your story.
No, I'm gonna clear this up so it could be cleared up. I was talking to my friend Stephanie. She was my best friend at the time, and I told her that I stayed at Joseph's house, and she was the one that was going around the call center telling everybody. It wasn't me. So me trying to make it seem like I was trying to put all our business out there on Front Street because I didn't know that Stephanie was going to do that.
Well, you know, I didn't stay mad at him for long. I didn't. It was just like what it is.
He was mean. Joseph always been mean. Joseph has always had this mean streak to me.
Because you always doing something wrong.
I am not.
Always,
what am I doing?
always doing
well,
something
then
wrong.
You ought to be used to it. If you ain't, you better get used to it because we married and I ain't going no damn where.
You know, like I said, I wasn't mad for long. So then, you know, we started, you know,
continue telling your lies.
But then I noticed something. I noticed, and I say this is a lie, because if you say this didn't happen, you's a motherfucking lie. I noticed that whenever Tremel wanted to come to my house, I would always say yes. But whenever I wanted him to come to my house, he always had an excuse why he couldn't come.
When?
So it was one day that he was working side by side with me. And I said to him, you're going to remember when I say this. We was working side. He had moved his chair over the way because he used to do that. He used to come sit by me while we worked. So, because I wasn't brave enough to just get up and move my chair. So he would move his chair over. But I think I did it one time. But this particular day, he moved his chair over to me. And he was looking like a little snack. So I was like, you gonna come to my house after work? He was like, no. After a tantrum. Now tell me you don't remember this. After a tantrum. I was like, well, this is gonna stop. And he was like, what are you talking about? I said, this is gonna stop because every time you wanna come to my house, I'm like, yes. Every time I ask you to come, you got some reason, excuse why you can't come.
So,
you know what? I'm done. What do you mean you done? I said, I'm done. The next time you think about saying you want to come to my house, don't even ask me because the answer is no. So he sat there and thought about it for a minute, made a phone call. I said, okay, fine, I'll come to your house. And in my head, I'm like, well, why he had to make a phone call? You know, see, these were things leading up to things that I found out after the fact. So he came over, you know, it was a done deal. I dropped him off at home. You know, because people think you don't be paying attention, but honey, I'm like a motherfucking hawk. I see everything. I hear everything.
So what was the problem? What was the issue? Who did I make a phone call to?
Piss on cotton. Okay? So, he, you know, did his little thing. He came over, whatever. And I was like, you spending the night? No, I gotta go home. I bet you do, bitch. Because you know you made a phone call. So then a couple of maybe weeks or month, I don't know. It seemed short to me, but it could have been a month. he tells me that him and his ex are back together. I said, oh.
Can I ask you a question?
So is that why when I be wanting you to come over, you can't come over because you got to go home? And, oh, that was the phone call you made to say you was working overtime to be with me. Okay. You know, I didn't say none of this to him. It was what I was thinking.
You living in the fantasy world because that never happened.
You never told me that you and your ex got back.
No.
That's a lie.
No, I don't remember.
You're a liar.
That.
That's
I don't remember that.
You
Number one. Number two is me and him never got back together.
No, I'm going to tell you how I know.
Me and him never got back together. Hold on.
First of all, he told me they got back together. I was okay with that because at that point, hell, I'm a homewrecker. So I done broke the foundation, so I might as well finish tearing down the motherfucking house.
You ain't broke down
so
the
it
foundation.
didn't even matter to me, to be honest with you. It was very, oh, okay. I was a fool. This is what I felt. Now, I'm telling y'all what I felt. He's going to intervene, but this is how I felt. I felt that him telling me they broke up, I moved too quick. Because I'm like, you know how men do, honey. They want to get with you, so they'll tell you anything. This is what I was thinking in my head. Now, I'm not saying that that's true. I'm saying this is what I was thinking in my head. So I felt, well, bitch, you already broke the foundation, so you might as well tear the rest of the motherfucking house down. So then I had went out, and I didn't know he was in this bar called the Warehouse. So I get there with my best friend, and I'm like, oh, bitch, that's the one I was telling you about. And he was like, who? I said, the one at work, bitch. I said, the one that's got a boyfriend and then all of a sudden want to play me and tell me that they ain't together, then all of a sudden they together again. He was like, who? I said, right there, standing up. I said, oh, bitch, I think that's his boyfriend right there. So, you know, I know his boyfriend is an Aries, so I know if it was me, what I would have done. So I was prepared for a fight. I was. This one spots me across the bar.
We was at Murphy's.
We was at Murphy's. Spots me across the bar and calls me over and introduces me to his boyfriend. Bitch, I like to die. I like to die.
Hold on. Say it.
No,
X.
I have to say
X.
I have to say X because the ex looked at me and said, oh, you're Joseph. You're the one that be bringing him home when he works late at night. I'm like, yeah. Meanwhile, honey, he working, but he working on something else. And then he goes, oh, he has pictures of you all over his den. So in my head, I'm like, bitch, are you stupid? Would you think I would let my man have pictures of another man all over, and especially since I look better than you, honey? Oh, no, that would never happen, honey. But, you know, if it works for you, girl, who am I? So, you know, when I felt the vibe that I wasn't going to have to fight, you know, I had to contain myself because, you know, I wanted to grab him and hold him. And, you know, hey, boo, and give him a kiss. But I couldn't do that. Why? Because I wasn't going to do that. It's for real, even though it was an ex, it still was a matter of respect. It really was. For me. It was. Like, I wasn't going to, no. Especially when you just tell me, oh, you're the one that brings him home after late from work. Thank you for taking care of him. Come on now, that's a level of respect
but
that
I wasn't
going to.
Now, you done told this story about how you interacted with my ex and how, you know, anytime that you asked me a question, I told you, I gave you an answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
You trying to make it seem like it wasn't no honesty in that.
No.
It was all honesty. You see, with the problem with...
No, what I'm saying
Let me just say this. The problem with dudes, me and dudes back when I was young, is they couldn't take my honesty. Because I would tell you, yo, I'm in a relationship right now. I always told you I was in a relationship. I ain't never tried to hide that from you. They don't respect you for that. They don't respect you for that. You still get like disrespected. Like they look at you like, how dare you tell me you in a relationship? How
when
dare
you told me you was in a relationship, I had chopped anything. I had no problem with being your friend. I didn't. Like, honestly, I didn't. And I was never mean to you. I was never rude to you. We spoke, we laughed, we smiled, we cigarettes. You asked me for one, here you go.
And I don't remember telling you that.
It was never that. It was when you came back to me and said, oh, we trying to work things out, was when I was like,
I don't remember ever telling you
how
that.
we go from y'all broke up to we trying to work things out. But I was like I said, it wasn't going to stop me at that point.
And the truth is that him and I, we never tried to work things out.
No, because right after that,
never got back together.
Right after that was when I guess he filed the order of protection against you. And you told me, he was like, he kicked me out. I don't have nowhere to go. So I'm like, well, damn, that didn't work out for you. You tried to work it out, but it didn't work out.
I hadn't tried to work it out. That's the whole thing. Him and I, we never tried to work it out. And we never got back together, ever. As a matter of fact,
I remember what you told me.
I scared that boy so bad, he left town, honey.
I know what you told me. Now, maybe you forgot what you told me, but I know what you told me.
I didn't. Well,
so
if I told you that,
him,
that was a fantasy.
Well, you can come, you know. He was like, well, I'm going to stay with you. You don't even live by yourself. I said, he ain't being no mind child. Just come home with me after work. I mean, you can't be there when I'm not there, but, you know, it is what it is. We was both working. Our schedules were similar. Or like on my days off, if he was off, he would stay. If he wasn't off, if I was off, he would go to his sister's house or whatever. And because back then, honey, a little hot in the ass, I have to say whatever.
Why you gonna call me hot in the ass?
Because, honey, but again, it's not you.
That's what he thought.
It's the people. It's not you. It's the people.
That's what they thought, though. That's what all of them thought. That's why I was always by myself, because I had to deal with attitudes like this. Oh, you trying to play me? You trying to play me for some other brother?
And it was like we was together or whatever. And then the Christmas party came. The Christmas party came.
Fiasco. That
and like you said, we went shopping. The whole office at this time knew that we was together. His boss, Denise, she used to try it, honey. She used to think she was fab, honey, and try it on my time, but I had to bring her together real quick. Because I went over to Tramel's desk, and she was like, he's not here today. You don't know where he is? I was like, no, I didn't. Because he didn't, that was like a night he didn't come over because he told me he was going to stay with his sister's house, so I thought he had to work, and he didn't come to work. So she was like, he's not here. You don't know where he is? I said, no. If I knew where he was, I wouldn't have came over here. She was like, pimping ain't easy, is it? Loud, honey, so everybody in the area could hear. She was like, pimping ain't easy, is it? And I had on a fur coat, a fur jacket. And I whipped my hair back and said, no, bitch, but hoeing is harder. And she ain't know shit. Oh, I hear that shit. Yeah, bitch, don't try me, honey, because I always have a comeback, honey. Hoeing is harder.
All this for little old me.
No, because, see, I guess, this is what I felt again. This is what I felt, nothing to do with Tramel. This is what I felt. I felt that they thought that I was the reason why him and his ex broke up. And like I was a home wrecker. Because they knew what they knew, but they didn't know.
I don't know how you got that.
They knew, because all of them kept saying I was breaking up a happy home.
They was just picking with you because they knew.
I was a charlatan and all this other stuff.
They was just messing with you.
And I walked around proud with my head up, honey, because I didn't care.
Well, they was just doing it to rile you up and to mess with you because they knew how I felt about my ex at the end of the day,
I had the man, so it didn't matter to me. Because at the end of the day, I had the man. The man was in my bed every night. The man was with me all the time. So I didn't care at that point.
Exactly.
I didn't.
So
because I felt like, again, this is me. It has nothing to do with Tramel. I felt like if I broke up a happy home, then, bitch, I might as well destroy the whole thing. Like, I don't get, see, one thing, and he gets mad because I used to tell him this all the time, and I stopped. If I'm going to be a side bitch, I'm going to play a side bitch's place, okay? First of all, I stayed in my lane. I didn't cross my boundaries. I stayed in my lane. I knew I was a side bitch. That's how I felt.
There was no lane. There was no lane for you. Again, you wasn't no side bitch.
That's how I felt.
I don't know why. I'm trying to understand why you felt like that.
And then I stayed in my lane. But then when he told me they was getting back together, I also felt like, well, bitch, you done busted up the foundation, so you might as well tear down the whole motherfucking house. So when he told me they was completely broken up and he couldn't go home, I was like, well, you can come stay with me. So, you know, I felt like, okay, I won, you know. I won. The side bitches won. I got the man. But the Christmas party happened. And y'all remember that story from his story. We went to get something for him to wear. He brought this tan suede outfit, and I had a chocolate leather. He brought a tan suede outfit, and I had a chocolate leather outfit. So technically, we kind of went dressed alike, but not alike. He had on suede, I had on leather, and he was here getting ready, and we went. My best friend came with us, and my other friend that worked there came with us. So as soon as we walked in the Christmas party, it was like everybody stopped what they were doing, except like people that the higher ups. But everybody that knew us, like literally stopped what they were doing. It was like, oh shit, they came together.
Because we were sharp.
Look at them.
We were sharp. We were sharp.
Y'all seen that picture. I'm sure y'all seen that picture on my profile or his profile where he's in the, we're in the outfits actually. That's the night of the Christmas party.
I had on all suede that night. I had suede boots and everything, yeah.
We took a picture the night of the Christmas party, and that was the picture. So you've probably seen it on one of our profiles or even on the community wall.